Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture Movie Reviews. My guest today is Rodney Butler, aka Comedian Pudgy. You can catch him in North Carolina and South Carolina. Very hilarious comedian. If you're in the area, please make sure you go and check him out. The movie we'll be reviewing is The Color Purple. Before we get into it, this will be a 100% spoiler review. But before we spoil the movie, Pudgy, do you recommend them to watch it?
Absolutely. I think everybody should watch that movie.
Nice. I agree with him. Definitely watch it. If you don't want to buy it, it'll probably be on the USA Network later on today. All right, guys. From this point on, it's 100% spoilers. So you picked the movie, man. Any special reason?
Yeah. I had my brother. He's autistic. He also is a pretty amazing guy. But he loved that movie, and I grew up, and he watched it like a million times. And, you know, I was raised old school, so whatever one watch, I'll watch. Yeah. So I've watched it a million times, too. That's honestly why I picked that movie.
Okay. So, surprisingly, a lot of people didn't notice, Steven Spielberg directed the movie. From other movies I've seen by Steven Spielberg, when you watch this movie, and if you didn't know it was Steven Spielberg, would you think he directed it?
Looking at his other works, yes. I honestly could say I believe he directed it. Not because it's because in all his other works, there's a certain passion to it.
Okay.
So even though it's a movie about something different, I still can see that same passion.
When it comes to the soundtrack, I think every song is placed amazingly well. I think that each song they chose not only goes with the scene, but draws out more emotion from it. When it comes to the soundtrack, how did you like it?
Oh man, it's awesome. Every song throughout there, it's always stuck with me. Especially, you know, what God is trying to tell you something. That's awesome, man. It's the music takes you back to, for me, it's back to when I was like a young kid, back in church, way back in the day, where everybody go to church no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah,
back then, and you know, you hear the choirs sing and all that. So it was really that type of country vibe that really brought me into the soundtrack.
Yes. And like I said, we both grew up in the country. I grew up in Winsboro. You grew up in Bamberg. So yeah, we both know about good old country. And even the houses they use, like in Winsboro, like not exactly the same, but like it's few like abandoned houses that look like that. That's what really drew me into the movie when it comes to the scenery. When it comes to the cast, I hope this isn't rude for me asking this, but did you see this in theaters or you saw this like later on in life?
Nah, the first time I see it was on like VHS. That was a movie tape for y'all young folks.
You bought it or you rented?
Oh, my mother, she had to buy it. My brother, he was autistic. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He's got to have that movie.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, we always had it. Still got it to this day.
Okay.
It's on DVD now.
Okay, thank God. I was about to say, you got two more rewinds, buddy, and that thing is gone. Okay, when it comes to the cast, I'm not sure, you may be able to correct me on this, but was having Oprah Winfrey a big thing at this time?
I'm not so sure if Oprah was already the Oprah we know today then. I always saw that was back, and it's probably because of the movie setting back in the day, but I always thought those were like their first movies as far as Oprah and Whoopi. I thought they did that before all of their other projects, and I always felt like that was just their, you know, breakout movie star movies where they all hit star status and became superstars.
Okay. I think the biggest star at the time probably was Donald Glover.
Danny,
Glover. Thank you, buddy. Danny Glover, he's given one of the toughest like characters to act in but I think he just nails it. When it comes to like who gave the best performance, I would have to give it to Danny in this movie. It's just to see Lethal Weapon and then to see him here is just it shows his range, in my opinion.
Oh, I always thought Danny Glover was super awesome. I mean, Lethal Weapon, that's like me and my brother's favorite. But in this movie, he definitely created that character 100%. That was a real person he created. And I won't say but, I'll say and. So did Whoopi Goldberg's character that she created. So was Oprah's character. So was a lot of the other characters in it. Like, that movie was well made. Like, they had the perfect people for the perfect positions, and it just popped into mind. Even the old racist lady that was in the town square when they got into it with Oprah, then it just seems like I said, when you say, I didn't know Steven Spielberg was the director, but looking at how things were done, I'm not surprised.
Like I said, this 100% spoiler review, guys. What were some of the iconic scenes that you still like? I wouldn't say quote till today, but you still like think about sometimes.
I probably when I got an older sister, and when I call her, I always be like, "Sister, you've been on my mind," and that's one of the songs I always sing to her. And like my brother, he always saying God is trying to tell you something. So it's like all of the music in there is part. But I think my most iconic part is you just a big old heifer. Ha ha ha. Like I said, fine with me. And everybody know what Miss Sophia do after that, because the lady smack her. You don't smack no black woman.
No. Okay. When it comes to the, I want to say juke joint scene, if that's what you would call it, the juke joint scene. I thought that was the best when it comes to scenery in the movie. I thought they really displayed what I would think a juke joint would look like. Like, it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't like, have you seen Harlem Nights by chance?
Right.
Sugar's Club and that Harlem Nights. It was kind of like, wow, this is very, very nice for this to be secretive. But when it came to the juke joint scene, the Color Purple, it was like, yeah, I can see people coming here and this being more realistic for that time.
Yeah, it definitely was more of a realistic thing in how we were having fun doing a little with so much, because of course they weren't going to let us have a big venue because they know we would take care of it and it would be better than theirs, which of course that nobody wants that. So they captured the Batlock countryside, low income or however you want to put it, but they still were having the best of times.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So we move towards, towards the ending of the movie. Do you think the movie was paced well, in your opinion, when it came towards the ending, or do you feel like they sped up a little bit?
I mean, after I watched it, it was a long movie after the fact, but it didn't seem like a long movie when I was watching it. I mean, they took you, and actually it's really a good movie about women's empowerment because, not Oprah, but Whoopi in that scene, she went from being basically like a house slave to, breaking free and reuniting with her family and her kids. So, I mean, it's definitely woman empowerment in there too.
Yeah, and it showed just how weak Danny Glover's character really was, The only power he had was what she let him have over her.
Exactly. He only was able to make it because of her, because when you took her out of the equation, it fell apart.
Yes. Yeah. By chance, have you read the book at all?
I can't read. I'm just playing. But no, I didn't. I didn't read the book.
You ain't shit, Pudge.
Nah, I ain't read
You
it.
got me with that one, Pudge. I was just like, oh no.
He was believing me too. He was like, "Oh my God, how did you do this so far?" Nah, I seen the movie, so I didn't read the book.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. He can read. So After reading the book, I watched the movie first and reading the book. I really think Steven Spielberg did the best part in making the movie. He didn't make it as dark as the book, and I think that was the best thing ever. Because the movie is dark, but if he went with the book, it would not be. I don't think it would be praised as much as we praise it now.
You know how many books like that? The book story is always more in detail and vulgar because they don't have to face the criticism. The only person who's going to read that book is who wants to.
True. That's very true. When it comes to I want to make sure I word this correctly. When it comes to the impact that movie had on not just black culture but pop culture, how strong do you think it's been throughout the years?
Oh man, look at it. I mean, there's very few people who don't know about that movie, regardless of their age. Like it's a movie that's going to keep coming up because it's a reminder. You know, look, this is where we came from. Just like a lot of other movies like that. I mean, but Color Purple, it's the one perfect example of where we came from.
Yes. And it's so successful that a musical came from it. I think they tried to do a TV series at one point that didn't work out. It definitely showed just how well and how much strength it had. I was going to actually did become a part of pop culture, but we just emphasized that it became a part of black culture and pop culture. 1 through 10, what would you give the movie?
1 through 10. Because of the shaving scene, I'm gonna give it a 9.5. I would have gave it a perfect 10 if she would have let him went ahead and shave her. If she would have let her went ahead and shave him, but because she stopped her, I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Okay, cool. I'll give it the same thing. Is there anything else you would like to share with the audience about the movie that you enjoyed?
It's real. I know we like to watch a lot of movies, and we like to be entertained often. And so we kind of fit ourselves and our mind into a particular world that doesn't really exist. This is more of a realistic movie, and I know it's hard to believe for some people who haven't experienced a lot of the things that happen in this movie, but this is still real life. And at one point, that was real life. So it's a great reminder of us not to forget where we come from or where we're going.
Nice. I agree. Man, thank you for coming on a movie review. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
I love y'all too.
Where can they find you on social media?
Comedian Pudgy and Rodney Butler are most platforms, the major ones. Facebook, IG, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat. What's that new joint? TikTok. I ain't made no TikToks yet. I'm working on it though. You can find me on all that though. Comedian Pudgy, aka Rodney Butler.
All right. You guys have an amazing day, and thank you for listening.